It being 10:12, I hereby call to order City of Daytona Beach Trespass Appeal Hearing for July 22, 2025. My name is Robert Riggio. I will be hearing these matters as a special magistrate this morning. We have two matters before us. First case is an appeal filed by Mr. Virgil Ham, and the second case is a appeal filed by Mr. Ronald Lewis, and we will take them in that order. Is there anything else that I need to provide? This is first time I've done one of these. Is there anything else we need to put in the record at this point regarding this proceeding? If not, I will move forward and get this thing underway. If there are, let me do it this way too. If there are any city employees, police officers who are going to be giving testimony this morning, this would be a good time to have them sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, sir.
And who is providing testimony? Sir,
Gaspar.
Okay, Mr. Officer Gaspar? And?
Sergeant Conley?
Yeah, Sergeant Conley. Okay. The way we will hear these cases is, since they're an appeal, the person filing the appeal will come forward first and present their arguments as to why the trespass appeal, or the trespass warning and its consequences are being appealed and the basis for that. And then the city will have an opportunity to rebut arguments if they feel that's necessary, and present any information that they feel is relevant that they want me to consider. And then if there is further need, I will call upon whichever party if I have questions thereafter. So let's begin first with case number 1, TA 08-2501, Virgil Ham. He is appealing the trespass warning issued for 1000 Orange Avenue, Tuscaloosa Park, city-owned property, pursuant to City Ordinance 86-43. Mr. Ham, I have read your brief appeal. If there's whatever, please state what your basis for the appeal.
Oh, well, my appeal basis was because I was walking my dogs in the park that morning, and my dogs can't tell time. Okay, but still, that's my problem. And I was arrested a week later. I wasn't gave a trespass warning.
I'm sorry, do I need to swear him in first?
Oh, please do.
Okay.
Mr. Ham, if you could be sworn in so that all of the testimony that's given has to be
You
under
stay
oath.
right there and just state your name for me.
Virgil Ham.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Ham, if you could take it from the top where you began.
Okay.
And-
The whole thing started in Tuscaloosa Park. Okay, on exercising my dogs one morning. Okay. The officer approached me. He said he had gave me a warning before, but I never did receive a warning. Okay, as far as I know. That day was the first time that I talked to him actually about me being in the park. The next day, I think it was a week later, I was arrested back by the gazebo where it says Frisbee players, and there's no trespassing signs there, which I can't understand. There's no trespassing signs. It says you got to be there only if you have a permit. But if there's nobody there with a permit, you can't sit there at all. So, I can't understand that, but that's the way it is, I guess. But as far as I want to know is that coming into the park.
Can you speak into the mic a little more?
Coming to the park.
Thank you.
From 1000 Orange Avenue, okay, the gate's open all day and all night. It's never locked. And there's no sign outside the entrance explaining the times of entrance and park hours. So that's another thing I'm trying to concerned about.
Okay. All right. We're dealing with 2 days, I believe. One was June 1st and June 5th.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. Apologies. So the June 5th, I was going to address this later, but the June 5th isn't relevant to this proceeding because was an arrest made under Florida statute for trespass. I believe it was Florida statutes 810.09 for trespass in other than a structure or conveyance. That's something he'd have to take up with the state attorney. We are here today just on the June 1st. He's appealing. We are going to discuss the previous warning, which was given in February, but I just wanted to make the record clear that we can talk about the June 5th. It's just not relevant to this hearing.
Okay. Then Mr. Ham, you understand the city is saying that the June 5th is not being discussed today.
Okay.
But let's talk about June 1st first, because I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You stated you were verbally notified.
I'm trying to think. He notified me about trespassing, okay? But it was somebody else that was being notified in the park that day. It wasn't me. He came over and just talked to me, and I left. That was it.
Okay.
And for the verbal one, I did not get one that day.
Well, let me ask you another question. Did you receive anything in writing?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. And you also said that and I don't know if the city is going to be presenting any testimony or any exhibits, but we'll get to that. But regarding signage that says what the park hours are and what hours you are, in your testimony is that where you entered,
Right.
there was nothing in there that said that it was a park hour. Is that correct?
That's correct. I have a picture of the signs with
If
me.
you have a picture, I would love to see it.
Okay.
The city would also like to present a picture as well.
I think it's going to be on a cell phone, so that's going to be a bit difficult.
Yeah, so the city would like to present into evidence a picture of the sign for Tuscaloosa Park, if Your Honor will allow.
Why don't we do this and maybe make it a little easier, because these are evidentiary hearings and I don't really know what you do with a cell phone picture, because that really can't be entered into the record easily. I'm still living in the world of paper.
I understand. I can have them printed out.
Put it up to the,
If you can, but I don't know, I can't.
Joe?
Would you allow me to approach?
Why Ms. Diaz, if you could look at the sign that Mr. Ham has
That's outside
presented.
the park. That's
It's
the
a
gate
light,
that's open.
because of the flash, you can't see anything on the sign.
You can't see.
Okay.
It's white. So I have a picture of the sign that's in that picture. If you would.
Would you show it to Mr.
He has a
Ham?
copy.
Yes.
He has a copy.
Mr. Ham, is that the picture of what?
No, it's not. This sign, this is inside the park. I'm talking about outside the park coming in.
Okay.
And outside that park coming in, the entrance is always unlocked.
And you can just walk in
Yeah.
that part because it's not fenced off.
What about the sign that you took a picture of? What, can I?
So this isn't, I have a rebuttal, if I may. 'cause it's
I understand, but I'm trying to help the witness here who is trying to provide me with a picture. And I'd like to be able to see the picture. Is that somewhere where I can see it and maybe see if I can blow it up a little or something?
Yes, I can blow it up
Maybe
on
he
my
can
phone.
email
I
it to
can,
IT.
I can go to Walgreens and get it printed out for you, the picture.
It might be easier to email it to IT and have them see if they can blow it up.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to try to get this proceeding done
Yeah.
without spending an inordinate amount of
Yeah, me
time
too.
fighting. If there's a way I can just kind of enlarge that so I can see what kind of writing is on it.
You wanna?
Do you think that he could email that to Joe, or is there a way to, would that work, Joe?
Yeah, for due process reasons, the city doesn't have any objections.
See, this is a sign that's blown up. If you can read that, let me know.
Could I see that?
He has a picture.
Yes. This is it, the sign outside that was there is no longer there now.
Okay.
That sign's been moved.
Because
If you
of
can
the
read it, let me
flash,
know.
You can't see it, but
There's no flash. That's in the morning. That's during the day. I didn't use no flash for that.
No. Well, there's no way to. It's the light is reflecting off the sign, which
All right.
makes it impossible to read the words.
I understand that this isn't an official hearing, but I just want to
Yeah.
put onto the record an objection for authentication purposes and so forth. There's no timing stamp on it and so verification.
Okay.
But he does have a copy. Regardless, the sign isn't really what the issue here. If you may, I have a rebuttal. If you're done with your testimony, I would
Well,
like
let's
to.
let Mr. Ham fully state, do you have anything further?
Well, I do, but, you know, it's all in my phone. I got days that I went back after this incident that the gate is still open, never locked at Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
So you can walk in anytime. And another park I went to, the sign say open from sun up to sundown. So every park is different.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Mr. Ham, let me try to summarize so I fully understand. First of all, your argument, and there's part of it that I'm interested in as well, is one, first, that there was no sign that was visible to you before you walked into the park
Yes,
that
sir.
said that there are hours and so,
There's no sign there.
okay. And that there is a sign, the sign that has the hours is
Inside by the bathroom.
inside by the bathroom.
Yes, sir.
And how far would that be from where you were approached by the police officer?
At least 50 yards or more. At least about 50 yards. Half of the length of a
About
football field.
150 feet?
About 50 yards. The length of a football field. half
Okay,
the
so,
length, yeah.
and you had just walked into the park with your dogs. What kind of dogs do you have?
I got two there outside in the car that I want to get out here and take care of them. I got a Schnauzer and a Shih Tzu. They're
Okay.
no more than 10 pounds.
Okay,
One 12 years old, another 11.
okay. I have 3 dogs, so I
Yeah, it's
understand.
just a thing, you know, they like to walk in the morning, it's just because I was there walking them, that's it.
All right, so,
That's it, sir.
okay. And second of all, it's your testimony that you were not given anything in writing. Is that correct?
Let's see, I'm trying to think. That day,
I have to let him speak.
no, I wasn't given nothing.
All right.
I didn't receive
You were given a
nothing, right.
verbal warning?
Yes, that was it.
Okay. And do you have anything further?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll have a right of rebuttal if you hear the city present something that you disagree with. So
Okay.
I'll give you a couple minutes if
If you
if they say something and you
Yeah.
disagree with it.
Do you mind staying up on the stand? Normally, I would come to the podium to do my cross, but I have a couple papers that I'm going to have to hand back and forth.
Okay.
Do
You want to
mind
do
if I,
crossings?
Stay here. So I'm going to go through each of your points. I'm going in order based on what your points were in your appeal and what you said in person. So I'm going to do your first point. You argue that you were walking your dog at the park at 6:25. This is off of your appeal. So you admit that you were at the park at 6:25 walking your dogs, and that you believed that the park hours were from sunrise to sunset, and that you only intended to walk your dog before church and didn't realize that you were violating the park rules. Is
Okay, I think
correct?
that day he did give me a written
I was just
warning.
repeating. I was just repeating what is in
All right.
verbatim on your appeal.
Okay.
So to first counter that first point, I have Officer Gaspard here. He was previously sworn in. I'm going to make a couple points before I get to your testimony. So you'll notice that this video, the sound is a little muffled. I think maybe it was windy or something was wrong with the officer's axon, but it's still time-stamped and shows, was that you in the video?
Yes.
That was you, okay. So do you remember anything about this interaction with Officer Rivera Cotto on February 9th, 2025 at about, let me see what time that was. 1 second. 7:26 in the morning.
Oh, okay. I remember that morning. They
Okay.
had stopped somebody else and talked to them, then he talked to me,
Okay.
I think.
So he wasn't talking to you in that video?
In the video,
Yeah, that video that just played.
yes, that was me in the video.
That was you? Okay.
Yeah.
So that, if you noticed on the top right-hand corner, that video was time-stamped. The interaction began at 7:26 in the morning on February 9th of 2025. It ended at 7:34 is when the video closed, according to the CAD. I have a copy of this CAD if, let me give that to you. But do you recall anything about that interaction?
I don't remember getting a warning that day or a written warning.
You don't? Okay,
No.
so I'm going to hand you two pieces of paper. I'm going to hand you the CAD that's time-stamped and the report that the officer put together of that interaction. I'm also going to provide one to the secretary for the record and your magistrate. So this is the CAD for the record. This is the report the officer put together. That's basically just a little timestamp of what happened, and this is the office report from that incident. Your Honor, if I may approach to hand you your copy.
Okay.
This is the report, back is the CAD timestamp. So again, I know that February was quite a few months ago, but there is a record of you being approached by an officer. I know that the sound is off, but if you look at the report, the green paper, you'll notice that the officer on that report wrote the following in his narrative. Quote, subject was observed with his dogs walking inside the closed park. Subject advised of the park being closed until 1800 hours. Subject understood and left. Axon was activated during this incident. This was a warning. The officer didn't arrest you. He didn't, give you any citations, but he did, according to the record, advise you of the park hours and told you that you can't be at the park at that time. He gave you a warning. Do you recall that incident?
A verbal warning, well, so if he said he did, but I don't remember.
Okay.
But he didn't give me a written warning, I know that.
He didn't give you a written warning,
No,
no.
ma'am.
All he did was give you a verbal warning
Yes.
as a courtesy to, advise you of the park rules. Because,
Correct.
there was a sign, as you see in the record, but even if you didn't see that sign, the officer gave you the warning on February.
Correct.
So I'm going to now fast forward. So again, back to your point that you stated that you thought it was from sunrise to sunset. This officer corrected that. If you did believe that during your February, that might have been the case, but after February 9th, the officer did tell you the right time, and that misconception should have been cleared up, especially in the video you're shown nodding, and which could be implied and understood as you understanding the officer's warning.
Let me interject here. Is it the city's position that that verbal warning constituted a first trespass warning?
No, that was just a warning.
Just a-
That was just him being put on notice of the park rules and that he couldn't be there at that time. This was, there's no official, notice to appear given, no trespass warning. This was just a
Okay.
verbal warning. Our officers aren't in the habit of maliciously arresting people. They want people to know and be aware before anything happens. He was given one warning on February 1st. I'm going to go through the other warnings.
Well,
in a minute.
he was put on notice. It
Yes,
seems
he was
to me
put on
that the ordinance is fairly specific about what would constitute warnings and trespass warnings.
This was just a verbal notice
A verbal notice
of the park
hours.
hours. This was, he, I believe, pointed to where the sign was to let him know that the park is open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And he, again, we don't give notices to appear generally on the first interaction. First interaction normally is a verbal warning, and that's what this was. This was a verbal warning to put him on notice. So he's on notice of the park hours, and he can't be there before 8 a.m.
Okay.
And so the ordinance, if we're going over that real quick, I was going to wait till the end, but so there's two relevant ordinances. Do you have a copy? I know you have a copy of 8-4 86-43. But do you have a copy in your record of 86-34?
No, I don't.
You don't? Let me give you the, I don't have copies of that, I apologize, but I do have my ordinance book.
I will look at it, and then I will let Mr. Ham take a look at it.
Get there. It was 86. 86-34. Here we go. So 86, oh, sorry, this book always falls apart. It's 86-34, but I'll get to that in a second. That's relevant for my next point. But, so the next event was on June 1st. So on June 1st, let me give you a copy of the paperwork before I ask.
Let me just read this in, Mr. Ham, if you can listen along. It's sort of generic. This is section 8634. Violation of codes, ordinances, or regulations governing public property. It is unlawful for any person while on public property to violate codes or ordinances governing the use of the property, or to violate regulations promulgated by the official charged with the security, care, or maintenance of the property and approved by the City Commission or senior executive official of the public agency owning or controlling the property, where such regulations have been conspicuously posted or where the regulations are otherwise made known to the person by the official charged with the security, maintenance, or care of the property, or by his agent, or by a police officer.
Okay,
So right now, I'm just going to hand out the trespass warning that was given on June 1st and the incident report from that. Let me hand
yeah, I was arrested on June 1st. That's the first one.
So June 1st, you were not arrested, but we'll
Yeah.
go through that. This is one for the secretary for the record. Oh, here's your copy for your, this is a copy of the code violation that you were given a notice to appear on, or you can give one to the secretary for the record. And I know that you already have the ordinance book, Your Honor, but I'm just going to give you a copy.
Thank you.
And then this is a copy of the trespass warning that was given and the incident report. I believe you already have one in the book, but just for redundancy purposes. And then let me know when you're ready for me to proceed.
I have one of these in the book. I just read that. And, okay. And this is the trespass warning. Okay. Okay. Mr. Ham, have you had a chance to look through these as well?
Yes, okay, the July 1st warning, okay, I remember, I see I signed that, okay? But where I was arrested at was back on the backside by Bank of America.
Yeah, before we get to that, I just wanted to go over some preliminary things. So under section 86-43, titled Trespass Warnings on Public Property and Other Property Generally Open to the Public, subsection A reads that officers of the police department are authorized to issue a trespass warning to any individual who violates any city ordinance, rule, or regulation or state law. which violation was committed while on or within a city facility, building, or outside area. The city ordinance that we're stating was violated on June 1st was ordinance code provision 86-34. The elements of this are: one, that the defendant was on public property, which I'm about to play a video that, actually, let's play the video first. IT, do you mind playing video?
Starting at 8? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the one that starts with 8.
Okay.
Big out with me. All right. This is our job, to patrol all the parks and all the surrounding areas, because we get a lot of complaints. And I happen to see you because that your car looked familiar. I'm like, is that the car he got out with? And I was right. All right. So you're gonna get a notice to appear. Your fine is gonna be $200. If you pay the fine, you don't have to go to court. All right.
Okay.
You are no longer welcome to this park unless you appeal it at the police department. You have to go to PD. You have 10 days to appeal it. I'm gonna give you a paper. It's gonna give you all the instructions. If you want to appeal it, say go to the front desk. Be like, hey, I feel like I shouldn't be trespassed for X, Y, Z. If they authorize you back in the park, you can come back. If they don't, you're trespassed for a year.
So I can't come back during regular hours?
At all. You're trespassed for 1 year unless you appeal it at the police department.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The thing is, like, I'm the type of guy, I met you halfway, but the thing is, I legit looked your name up, and the officer got out with you around February, told you, hey, the park's closed, what are you doing here? And then you got out, and you left.
I'm trying to remember that. Okay.
He legit typed, he said, hey, I observed the male walking his dog, I advised him the park was closed, and then you responded back to him, and then you...
Since we already have the video up, IT, do you also mind playing the video, the maybe one? Thank you. So this video that was just played and the video that will be played is Axon from Officer Gaspart's body recorded device from June 1st. The time.
Halfway. I'm just giving you a ticket, let you keep it moving. I'm not trying to get ass. The thing is, like, you was warned before.
Okay, I appreciate that. I know I'll take care of the business. I go down to the...
Yep, if you pay the
down to the main office and tell them that, at the...
Yep.
Probably tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow's Monday. If you want to go to the police station and let them know, hey, I got a notice to appear, whatever you want to tell them, but you have 10 days to appeal at a PD. At the police department, 129 Valor Boulevard. The main police department by the Speedway.
Right.
All right.
That's why we're going to go anyway.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, the reason I didn't play the whole thing is that was a long video, I think 50 minutes. I just played the highlight clips, but, sir, was that you in the video?
Yes.
I'm going to kind of go out of order. I'm going to go back to your points in a second, but before I do that, I just want to establish for the record that the elements of both city ordinances were met. So we are allowed to give you a trespass warning if you violate a city ordinance. The city ordinance that you were cited for in the incident report that you have in front of you, it's that green paper dated June 1st, was for City Ordinance Code 86-34, which is titled Violations of Code, Ordinances, or Regulations on Public Property. I already gave you a copy of what that ordinance says, so I won't read it to you again. I'll just go through the elements. Element number 1 is that while on property, the defendant did one or more of the following: A, violated a code or ordinance governing the use of that public property. So on that piece of paper, there's a picture of the sign that's at the park. And if you couldn't see the sign, you were still given that verbal rule on February 9th by the officer. So both the officer and this sign told you that the park rule was that it was open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. from April to November, and then December to March from 8 a.m. to 5. Regardless of when in the year, it's always open at 8. Then at the bottom on the sign, it says rules. The first rule on the park reads, "It is unlawful for any person to enter upon, remain within, or refuse to leave the park when the park is closed." Again, if you didn't see the sign, you were still verbally warned about the park rule. But this sign is compliant with the requirements under Florida law and our ordinance. So, number one, you were on the property as shown by the video. You were there at time-stamped, I believe it was, let me pull up that, I think it was 6:25, yeah, 6:25 a.m., which is before 8 a.m. So element one is met, that it violated the rule of the park. And then you were, sorry, that was element number two. Element number one is that you were on the property, which the video shows you were. Element number two is that you violated the rule, which you did when you were there before 8 a.m. And this is a rule promulgated by the city. And the sign is posted, not just posted, but also made known to you by an agent. So that the statute, the ordinance says, quote, either conspicuously posted or, which means one or the other. We don't need both, but we have both in the situation. So either conspicuously posted through the sign that is in evidence, or made known to you by an official, agent, or police officer. So both, there was a sign posted. If you didn't see the sign, we also told you by an officer verbal warning. So again, we have enough evidence to prove that code section 86-34 was violated. Because that was violated, section 86-43 allows us to give you a trespass warning, which we did. You'll also remember in the video, Officer Gaspard did not arrest you on June 1st. He gave you a notice to appear because he wanted to work with you. You told him that you appreciated it and understood. He also told you twice that that warning was for a year unless the police department tells you otherwise. He also told you that multiple times. It's on the video. You said the words, I understand, I know, I think it was. I do not want to misquote you, so let me pull up exactly what you said. Officer Gaspard said, you are no longer welcomed into this park unless you appeal it at the police department. Then later on he said, if they authorize you back into the park, you can come back. If they don't, you are trespassed for a year. You then immediately asked, so I can't come back during regular hours, to which Officer Gaspard responded, quote, at all. You're trespassed for 1 year unless you appeal it at the police department, end quote. And then later on, when he was explaining to you that he's only going to give you a notice to appear, not arrest you, Officer Gaspard said, that was the second video. He said, quote, I am just going to give you a ticket and let you keep moving. And then later on he said, the thing is that you were warned before. You responded, okay, I appreciate that, I know, end quote. So this also goes to your second argument that you were not giving a verbal warning. You were given two verbal warnings. You were given one on February 9th by Officer Coda, and then on June 1st by Officer Gaspard. You also stated that your vision was poor and it was really small print, you couldn't read. As I read in the ordinance, a sign isn't necessary if you were warned by an officer verbally, which you were, but regardless, a sign is there pursuant to Florida law and our ordinance. We met that. And then what else did you claim? That the citation was poor because of your eyesight, which, yes, the trespass warning is small, but it is big enough to read the following quote. If you see on that warning that you were given, the middle of the page, the top bullet point, the very first bullet point on the trespass warning states, and gives you the citation as well. It says, you are hereby notified that your presence is no longer welcomed on property premises listed above for a period of 1 year. So there was multiple different written and verbal warnings at different time periods for June 1st. What else? You also argue that, well, I'm going really fast and saying a lot. Do you have anything to say to what I have said thus far?
Yeah, that first one in February, I didn't give no warning for that. I wouldn't even talk to her about that. I was just there in the park. They didn't give me a warning or nothing. Dean said, don't come to the park or nothing. They was giving another person a warning. They got a warning, but I didn't.
So in the first video, I guess, do you mind playing that video again, IT? The very first video, the short one that begins with 3? Thank you. This video is dated February 9th. And according to the CAD, it happened at 7:26 to 7:34. I don't want to testify, but I don't see anyone else in that video.
I have a question. Mr. Ham, was that your vehicle that was in that video?
Yes,
Okay, so you drove into the park and then you're walking your dogs?
yes.
Okay,
And when you come into that park, there's no sign there. That blue sign that you're getting the picture of, that sign is not outside the park. It's inside the park. If you want me to, say that I do understand the rules, I understand them, but every other park that I went to here in Volusia County, this sign here is posted outside the gates, and the gates are locked. This park here, the gate's not locked, and it's wide open at 6 in the morning. It's open 24 hours. That park is not fenced off, so you can walk through there anytime.
whether the gate is locked or not
Uh-huh.
is, at least probably is irrelevant if there is a sign. Now, where is the sign in context to that road that you drive in?
Way inside the park. It's nowhere outside the park. This sign here is another sign, is on the back side of the park before you walk in the park. But when you drive in, there's no sign. It says nothing.
I believe Officer Gaspard has something to add. Before he does, I just wanted to add that,
Could we let Officer Gaspar
Yeah.
testify to what he knows and doesn't know, as opposed to trying to say what?
yeah, I do quickly want to add, though, that it's still relevant, the sign, like, there was a sign, but it's still not relevant because he was told verbally on February by an officer, but
Yeah, to piggyback off what Mr. Ham is saying, there's only one way in, one way out. It's a one-way. You can't make a U-turn. The only way to get through the whole entire park, which is like a serpentine, you have to do loops. You have to pass 2 or 3 other signs. Especially when I made contact with him, his vehicle was parked on the southeast corner of the park, which is literally almost to the exit. And the only way to get to that, where he was located, is to do a whole loop around the whole entire park through the zip line to get to where he was made contact with by myself. And like I said, he passed there's about 2 or 3 the large purple signs that's on the exhibit. He had to pass that. Numerous signs. So if he's keep quoting, oh, there's no clear sign in the front of the park, you still have to get in your car, drive all the way around the park to pass 2 or 3 other signs before you exit the park. And he was literally almost to the exit when I made contact with him, when I gave him the notice to appear.
So your testimony is he had to go by, to get where he was, several signs that had the park opens at whatever time,
Yep. The same purple sign.
not
that's on the picture.
6:30 in the morning.
But this happened on June 1st after he was given a verbal warning by an officer of the park hours. He was put on notice through all the signs and through a verbal notice that was recorded.
Okay, and there's also the February incident.
That's what I meant. He was given the February verbal notice and the signs.
Okay,
So yeah, there's one way in. You have to go do a large loop around. There's no way for you to bust a U-turn on the park. There's even multiple signs that says one way only. So I'm not sure why he's arguing about the first sign by the entrance when there's other signs surrounding within the park as well, in which you have to drive a whole CRV, Honda past multiple signs.
okay.
But I was stopped leaving the park. Okay? I was seeing the sign, now I'm leaving the park, and I'm gone, and I was stopped and gave a warning. So if I seen the sign coming in from Orange Avenue, I wouldn't have no problem. But I didn't see the sign until I got inside the park. There's nothing listed. You can see every other park, all the other parks, Bethune Point, Rose Bay Park, all them signs are outside on the entrance coming in. This park don't have nothing coming in. You just come in and then all of a sudden you getting a warning and here's the sign.
So-
Okay, give me a sign outside the park, okay, like all the rest of the parks, that's fenced off and be closed. This park is not fenced off and it's not closed or nothing.
So,
Mr. Ham, the testimony is that you had to drive by a sign that had
Yeah.
park hours on it.
And I was leaving the park after I seen the sign. I got stopped. So,
Well, but driving the other direction, coming in,
right,
the testimony is that you had to see the hours.
there's no hours coming in that park.
Well, there's two sides to a sign. Are you saying
Yeah.
that one side is blank?
There's nothing there going into that park. Only first sign you gonna see is inside that park, over 50 feet away from that entrance, and there's a blue sign, and it's by the bathroom. Okay, if you see the sign and read it, then you leave the park. That's why I was leaving the park, but I was stopped.
so,
Okay.
Your Honor, if
So you say I was going to the exit, I was almost at the exit of the park, so I was leaving.
if I may, so,
But you had to drive in.
Yeah,
yeah.
I had to drive
And
in.
the testimony from the police officer is that to drive in, you had to go past a sign that had park hours on it.
There's no sign there. There's no sign outside the park with park
Well,
hours.
I don't care if it's where it is, but if you
Right.
had to go by it, you were put on notice that there's a time.
Okay, after I seen it, I was leaving it, he stopped me when I was leaving the park.
So,
He just said I was at the exit, almost at the exit, leaving the park, and that's what I was doing. I was leaving the park.
Your Honor, if I may, so we can go back and forth, but, you know, let's lay out the facts, right? The facts are, one, you were at the park on February 9th at about 7:30 in the morning. That's a fact we both stipulated to per the video. Fact number two, on that date, when you were at the park at 7:25, an officer kindly went up to you and gave you a warning that said, hey, this park is closed, you can't be here. He didn't arrest you, he didn't give you a citation, he kindly gave you a verbal notice that the park is closed and does not open until 8. It's in his report. We unfortunately can't have audio, but it is in his report, which he swears to. Number two, that's number three. Fact number one, you were at the park on that date. Fact number two, the officer gave you that verbal warning. Fact number three, on June 1st, after you were given that verbal warning, meaning that you understood the park rules, you entered the park again before 8. That's a fact. Fact 5, right? Fact 5 is that you were in the park and you were approached by Officer Gaspard here, who gave you a notice to appear because, fact, you violated Section 86-34 by, 1, being on the park, and 2, being at the park in violation of a park rule by being there before 8 a.m. These are all facts. We can go back and forth about signs and all that, all those facts, and those facts are enough by law to have given you the citation for violation of 8-33, because sign or not, it says either conspicuously posted, which it was, or made known to you by a police officer, which it was. So because you violated this, you were given a trespass warning, as allowed by Section 83-43, because you violated a city ordinance's fact. So is anything that I just said something that is untrue?
No, it's all true, but still, it's just the fact with me going into that area, okay? There's nothing posted about the times until you get by the bathroom.
But that's not
And
necessary.
again, all the other parks I go to, I read the sign, and that's outside the park. Why this one don't have one outside the park?
It's not relevant. You were given a verbal warning. Let's say
Yeah.
there was no signs, hypothetically, there was no signs anywhere on that park. It still wouldn't matter because you were given a verbal notice by an
Oh, okay.
officer.
But we still know, it'd be nice to know, you can't go nowhere. If I'm coming up to your front door of your house, okay, and you got no trespassing sign there, I'm not gonna come in, okay? This is totally the same thing.
But if you come up to my house and I
Yeah.
nicely tell you you can't be here,
Right,
that's enough, right? I'm not
Yeah.
arresting you the first time.
right.
And that's what happened here. We nicely told you you can't be at the park at 8 a.m. and sent you on your way without any record, any citation on your record. So we understand where you're coming from and empathize with what you're saying, but we feel that what we did was more than fair given the circumstances. And Gasper, if you had anything you'd like to add.
Oh, you know that.
Oh, but still, you know, I don't know. I've been to a lot of other cities and totally different.
Yeah, like I said, to piggyback
Everything is totally different.
what assistant state attorney said is February he received a verbal warning by my partner. Says, hey, the park opens at 8. We're not going to give you anything, which he acknowledged. And second time, I could have arrested him. Shipped him. I was like, you know, you have your 2 dogs, you have your RV. I could have towed your car, put your dog at the police station. I was nice enough to say, you know what, I'm going to give you notice to appear to let you figure your situation out. And I gave him a trespass warning. So at this time, he knew, you heard on video that I was like, here's the process, you cannot come back here. All right, so, and like I said, before you even get to where his car was, you had to pass numerous signs, including the one that he just uttered that he's seen by that's by the bathroom, that he knows there's a sign by the bathroom. You have to do a whole loop to pass that sign anyway. But like I said, you nailed everything. I don't have anything else to say, but.
Sir, I have a question
Yes,
for
sir.
you. Why doesn't the city want people in there or restricts the hours for those parks?
I know you asked Officer Gaspard, but this is more of a city commission question. He didn't draft the rules. He just is tasked with enforcing them.
Okay.
But I will let you answer if you do have an answer. I just wanted
I was
to.
just going to go based off my experience and all the complaints
Yeah,
that
off your experience would be fine.
Okay, with my experience, we get a lot of complaints about a lot of narcotics being used before and after hours specifically at parks. I've arrested numerous people for narcotics and camping, covered up in blankets and tents and stuff. So we get a lot of complaints from the citizens of Daytona Beach that it goes all the way up to the chief. Like, hey, what are you guys doing about it? You're allowing people to be in the park before it open, camping, doing narcotics, doing all this stuff that they're not supposed to do before and after hours. Not saying that he's doing narcotics or whatever. That's why we strictly enforce it. So we treat everybody the same. You're not supposed. That's why they put the rules out there. All right. So through my training experience, I've arrested all types of things: narcotics, camping, so different, a whole bunch of things, hundreds of them. But I'm not sure. I'll let you finish. But it's a lot of complaints every day, every week. There's complaints about. People can't even bring their kids to the park because of situations that they observed before and after hours and things that's left within the park.
I noticed in the picture that was taken that there was a vehicle and then there was emptiness around there. No other people, no other vehicles.
Because we've enforced it so much that people understand, hey, don't be here. That should be another clear sign like, oops, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. But yeah, we've cleaned it up pretty well, and we just stay on top of it. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Does the city have anything further to?
Nope.
Present?
We just ask that the trespass warning stand, and that the notice to appear, and the arraignment that's set, I think, sometime in February, be upheld.
So there's a 1-year trespass warning at this point, and that started to run from June 1st.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So a month of that has actually a month, almost 2 months now transpired.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Mr. Ham, do you have anything further?
Well, I'm through because I got the 2 dogs in the car and I got to go take care of them. I have more to say, but I ain't going to say nothing else now.
Okay. Mr. Ham, I'm having a real problem with this. Okay.
Yes. The thing is, just put a sign
I
up.
understand your situation. I walk dogs. If I walk dogs in someplace I shouldn't be walking them, and somebody tells me that, I don't go back there. I understand the city's concern about trying to keep areas like that are, drive by there, and Tuscarora Park has trees and all kinds of stuff where you can't see what's going on back in parts of it. And being able to say there's nobody in there at certain hours assists law enforcement in what they're doing and trying to keep people out there who shouldn't be out there. And unfortunately, a dog walker.
Yeah, I'm walking my dogs. Ain't got no drugs, no alcohol. The thing is,
I understand that exactly,
Yeah.
but you were warned.
I was warned, but the thing is, though, I can't understand. Okay, you're gonna warn me. Okay, all the other parks warn me, but they're fenced off. This park is not fenced off. There's no fence nowhere. You can just go in anytime.
You're asking that
Yeah.
the city doesn't have to fence it off. Am I
Right.
correct on that?
That's correct, yes.
It's same way as I don't have to fence off my yard to keep people
All right.
out if.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what you said, the reason why the gates are open like 6, 7 in the morning, you got city workers that start early in the morning and start cleaning the bathrooms and stuff, and the only way they can get in and out the parks is driving their vehicle. So they're not gonna drive their vehicles in the park, lock it, and then drive out and unlock it. So the main reason why there is a gate in the front, by the way. City workers come and they start. I don't know what time they start, 5, 6 a.m. and they clean up early in the morning. So by it being open is for city use only, but to get ready for the zip lines and the frisbee stuff. So that's why the gate is open.
Okay.
Well, you said the gate is open at that time because of that. But okay, now you got all the other hours from 8 at night to 3 and 4 in the morning. It's wide open. It's wide open.
Again, it's not relevant.
If you're gonna have it locked up for a certain time, well, lock it up, okay? Don't leave it unlocked just because the city workers, that's their job. You come in and lock it up just they do the bathroom.
This doesn't
That's it. They lock up all the rest of the parts, why you can't do this?
But this doesn't overcome the warning you were given
Yeah.
to not be there at 8 a.m.
Well, yeah, but I'm still saying it's unfair
Let
for
me
you to
ask
go
the
in there
officer
and
a
just don't warn.
question. A moment. If you came by at 9 o'clock at night and you thought you saw somebody in there, would you go in there to, if it's after hours, to check on what's going on?
Oh yeah, so for 100%.
And is that the purpose of having hours, is that during the day it's open to the public and when it's closed it's not open to the public?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, that's a rule, but still to me, okay, that 8 to 8, that seems like you're on a curfew. I'm on a curfew, okay? Here I am, I'm 7 years old, I got curfew in the cities where I was born, okay? And I go somewhere else, there's no curfews like that. There's no curfew nowhere. Go, I'm just saying, my experience of parks and stuff, I've been to Grand Central Park in New York City. It's open 24/7. You can walk through it anytime. I've been to parks in Buffalo, New York, where I started myself, the Juneteenth in Buffalo, New York. And that park is still there with a wading pool that's a foot deep, and there's no fence around that park, and there's no signs in that park about trespassing.
So New York City Central Park has
I
a
know.
police force that's about 3 times the size of
Yeah,
us.
it's
They
bigger,
have
but-
funding that's different. If you go down the street to Port Orange, their parks have hours, Holly Hill have
Yeah.
hours. We wish we had the resources that New York City has, but unfortunately we don't.
Well, I'm just saying, let's be a little fair about it,
they-
okay? It's not fenced off, and there's no signs coming in off of Orange Avenue. There's nothing off of Orange Avenue that says time, open or closed, okay? Let's be fair about that. There's no sign out there.
Okay, respectfully, that doesn't overcome the verbal warning you were given to.
Yeah,
not be
right,
there
okay, I
at
understand the warning, but I wouldn't have got
Do
that
you-
warning if I was seeing the sign outside the park. Then he gave me a warning, I'm leaving the park.
But do you understand, and I'm asking sincerely, you were given a warning not to be there before 8 a.m. You told the officer you understood and you
Yeah.
left. But that's it, that there's no other thing to argue here. You were given a verbal warning not to be there and you violated that verbal warning by being there. We could bring in all the other relevant facts that we want, but it's not relevant to the proceeding before
Yeah,
us today.
But it's still there, that sign is not there outside the park at the entrance, okay? It's on the inside. Put it on the outside, don't put it on the entrance. Don't let me tell you, one way till I get inside 100 feet or 50 feet, and then I see a warning sign, and I'm leaving, and then you're gonna stop and give me a warning, and I'm gonna leave the park.
The city has nothing further, Your Honor. We presented our
Okay.
argument.
Mr. Ham, the
Yes, sir.
testimony that I have is twofold. One is that you were given a warning back in February, and two, that your car could not be in the position that it was in without passing a sign that said that there were hours in the park.
Yeah, I'm passing the sign leaving the park. He just said I was leaving the park, and he
Well,
stopped.
the testimony from the officer is that for you to get to where you were, you had to go by a sign that stated that there were park hours.
And then after you see the park sign, you leave the park. And that's what I was doing. I was leaving the park. I was leaving. He called me at the
Your
exit,
car was
almost at
parked
the exit,
in
I was
picture.
leaving.
You weren't leaving at that time. Your
In
car-
February I was leaving.
That's why you weren't given a notice to appear in February.
Okay.
And when I was getting that warning that time, I was leaving too. It was about 7 o'clock, I think it was, something like that. But still, okay,
Okay.
that's it. That's all I have to say.
Well, based on what I have heard today, you were provided with a notice in February of the park hours, and that you were there before the park was open. That there was postings that you had to see to get to where you were on the June 1st date that had park hours.
Right, that's by the bathroom. Wasn't
And-
nowhere at the entrance.
And that you were put on notice of it. This is a very difficult decision because I would really like it if somebody in your position was I hate to say sort of more of a lawbreaker. They were in there were drugs or whatever. You're walking dogs. But it comes down to the fact that whatever you were doing at that time, regardless of what it was not allowed by the posted hours, and therefore you had trespassed in there. And as the officer said, the city has an interest in keeping people out of there until the park is officially open and there are people patrolling through it. And so I'm going to deny your appeal. As much as I don't want to, I hate to see a dog walker turned into, an Al Capone type.
Yeah,
But dog walking can get you in trouble, and that's,
yeah.
if a police officer tells you can't go somewhere, then, and he gives you a good reason for it, then you respect what he has to say. And that, otherwise it's just chaos.
And there's plenty other parks you can go to. That's not the only park. I can't even.
Yes, there's other parks I do go to.
West side and east side, we got plenty other parks. He's just trespassed from that park. So,
Correct.
so it's good.
And for that part, I just got another warning from Cypress. I was sitting at a table, and it's posted, you can't sit there unless you have permission, but still, there's 3 of us sitting there, and all 3 of us got a warning.
I hate
still
to
got
cut you
that
off, but
warning.
that's not relevant
I
to
got
this
that warning
proceeding.
with me now.
Okay.
I do have that one, so.
Okay, you could submit that appeal to the police department, but that's not the purpose of the
Right,
hearing.
no, this is not the purpose.
Only
of it.
on that June 1st date.
Right, that's it. Oh, thank you.
Okay. I wish I could go otherwise. I can tell you that. But based on the facts and the testimony that have been presented, I have no choice.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Mr. Riggio, we do have the order for you to sign.
Okay.
And then I'll give
To
Mr.
present.
Mann a copy before he leaves.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's a year to stay out of Tuscarora Park. Okay.
No. Stay out of it when it's not open.
So,
But I can't go back there today, though, because
Oh,
of
well,
trespass.
yes, you have a 1-year trespass.
Yeah.
Actually, now it'd be about
now
10
it's
months.
2 years because of the June 5th, but again, that's not the purpose of this hearing. But I believe it's 2 years now because of the 3rd, the 4th, the 3rd?
Verbal warning, NTA, then third time was a physical arrest.
Yeah, the
That's the
third.
different total.
That's the June
That's the
5th.
total.
I'm only looking at the June 1st.
Yeah, but he's trespassed for 2 years. That's what it is. Because of that June
I don't know if
5th.
he's still within the appeal process for the third one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
We,
I'm sorry, sir, but I am looking at the evidence and the testimony, and as much as I would like to have ruled in your favor, but you just didn't present a case that supported that. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time.
She's making a copy of your letter. So if you'll just hang on just a moment, she'll bring it up to you.
Okay, we're moving to case number 2.
Your Honor, do you mind if I have a quick recess to use the
10-minute break, 15,
5 minutes will be
5 minutes?
5 minutes will be good.
Okay, we are temporarily, we're taking a 5-minute break. It is 11:14, and we will reconvene at about 11:19.
Joe Lewis.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, I'd like to do something a little bit out of order that I think will help me and may help you. And it would be nice if I knew what it is that Mr. Lewis, like a little map of what it is that this warning applies to.
Yes.
Because in reading his appeal, I have concerns, because I'm familiar with that area,
You mean a map of the park?
a map of what the trespass warning applies to. Because there's that little road that comes off of Silver Beach that loops through to Beach Street. There's sidewalks. There's a parking lot in front of the library, and I read at the end that he wants to enjoy the library, and I'm trying to figure out how it is he can't get to the library.
Sergeant Connolly's pulling up a map.
Okay. And I think that will help me because I want to know what it is you're prohibited from trespassing on. And I think that might answer some of your question that's in your appeal.
In the meantime, I'm just gonna hand out the sign, the picture of the sign. And the trespass warning.
I mean, does it also include Jackie Robinson Stadium?
It has the address on it, so let me hand out this for the secretary for the record. Your Honor, if I may. So it's just for you. Again, while we're putting that up, I'm just gonna do some procedural handout here. The next thing is just the first trespass warning from April that I'll be handing out. For the secretary, this is the trespass warning and the accompanying record police report. Sorry. Sir, for you to review, this is the first trespass record, and the trespass warning. This is the police report narrative from an incident in April. Your Honor, if I may, your copy. This is the trespass warning, first one, and this report from the first incident. And lastly, we're just doing the first one for right now. This is the court action form for that first incident where he was took a plea. This is the copy of the secretary. For you. This is the court action form that I think this give him a plea for time served. This is your court action form for that first incident. So right now, that's just all for April.
Whenever you need it, Melissa.
Okay. unless you want to present the picture of the map up and have
Yeah.
and we'll swap you back in.
Okay. Sounds good.
Your Honor, so we're going to have Officer Conley, who has already been sworn in, come in to present the map for you.
Okay.
It's here that you should have an email with it, the picture in question. Hello, Sergeant Conley, Daytona. So the map that I just sent over to our IT that will hopefully be on display for you as well. And this is from the property appraiser's website. I know it's hard to see, but everything in blue is what that trespass warning will go for. The little space right up here, that blank space, is the city library. Would you like to see it closer?
Okay, I can't hardly see it from
Yeah.
here,
Would you like to see it on the map?
and neither can.
Okay. That's the bigger map on screen, or on the screen for you.
Yeah.
So hopefully it blows it up. Guys. Everything, so this is the property appraiser's website. Everything in blue is city owned, and that's what the park, the trespass is for. That little space right here, that is the city owned.
This is the city library?
Right there, yes.
Okay, so Mr. Lewis would either have to swim,
No, there's a little opening right in the,
where?
let me point to it. You got it? Okay. You pointed.
The only opening is on the,
Yeah.
is on the side of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So the bridge is right here, Jackie Robinson Bridge, and then there's a
Correct.
sidewalk that comes up the side.
So the
and
sidewalk
then there's-
along the, that little waterway that runs along parallel to Beach Street?
Yes. correct.
Okay,
That's the public
But-
right of way to the
But
okay.
that's not where he was,
Well, I understand that, but his appeal goes to, he can't enjoy the library. And if there's a way to get to the library that's not a problem,
yes. I know it's hard to see in this little picture. Let me close that out so you can see it better. Jackie Robinson Parkway, which is the bridge right there.
right?
Magnolia. So you cross, and then right on technically the west side of the parking lot is a public access sidewalk will take directly to the library.
Okay. And he has also been, Mr. Lewis, I hope you don't have an objection in terms of my trying to figure out where it is you're prohibited from going by this order. Okay? And I think that goes to some of the issues, the statements in your appeal. Question, Jackie Robinson Parkway is a public road.
Correct.
That's part of a public park?
The road feeds into the parking lot that's used for all three locations, both the library, the park, and Jackie Robinson Park.
Okay, but the roadway itself, if he walked on the roadway across from Silver Beach to Beach Street, would he be subject to,
No, and there's a public access sidewalk that he can use, so he's not in the roadway because we want him to be safe. But he can use the sidewalk on either side.
either side of the road?
Correct.
And then the sidewalk that he would use would be the area that goes from the little bridge that goes across that canal, or whatever you call it, on parallel with Beach Street, going up along and go north to the library.
Correct.
And the parking lot itself is part of the park, and it's not part, none of that is designated for the library?
According to the property appraiser's website, it is indicated as belonging to the park in itself. So it is incorporated in that property.
So if Mr. Lewis wanted to drive to the library, he'd probably have to park on Beach Street because he couldn't park his car next to the library.
According to the property appraiser's website, yes, sir.
Okay.
but I don't believe that's what happened. He wasn't seen at the
Well,
library or,
I think Mr. Lewis's appeal goes to prospective issues in terms of, I won't be able to enjoy the library. And I'm trying to find out, first of all, whether there are ways he can enjoy the library and be in compliance with his order, because I'd have a problem if he was prohibited from using a Volusia County facility based on, you know, a Daytona Beach ordinance.
You
So
are
we will-
correct. He would still have access via pedestrian to go across the bridge, and there's plenty of parking with the new oceanfront parking that they have there.
Right, I parked over there, there's
Yeah.
plenty, it's a lot different than it used to be.
Yes, and safer.
Yeah, we will provide testimony to address all of those points.
Okay,
That's all.
all
We may
right.
need it to show where he was. Before we, since we're doing procedural maps, to relieve Sergeant Connolly, do you mind if Officer Gaspard just lets us know where he was arrested, just to point out where he was?
Sure. And let Mr. Lewis see it as
Yes.
well. I mean, first, just so he can,
Show him first, and then,
You agree that this is a factual map?
I would say it appears to be. But in my defense, I arrived extremely early sometime from my friend.
do you want to show him? We're going to have plenty of opportunity to.
Okay, all right.
we're
Just
trying to
right
get the
now.
preliminaries
We're
out of
just
the
trying
way.
to
I like to know, since this is spatial,
Yeah,
and who's where and what, and all of that, to get that
Okay.
confirmed.
and you agree that that's where, roundabout where you were when the arrest happened?
So, that's the library.
Yeah, the library.
Where were you?
To begin with, when I first was arrested.
No, just
Mr. Lewis,
just
if-
the June.
Mr. Lewis, if you can speak into the microphone more.
We're only talking about the June 24th incident.
The first one,
We're only talking about June 24th because that's the one you're appealing.
the one where I was arrested for the second time. at-
Point to where he says and ask him if that's the right
So
place.
Officer Gaspard testified that you were over here on the west side of the building. Is that accurate?
The west side of the building of the library?
Yes.
That's correct,
Okay.
by the bike rack.
Okay,
Yeah.
show.
So, this is City Island. The blue pipe is technically the park. The void right there is the library. And then Gaspard is testifying that he's over here in this blue part, which is on the west side of the library.
Which was affirmed by the respondent.
And that's part of the
Or
park.
the
Yes.
respondent.
Okay,
That is part of the park.
okay.
Don't hate me, but can you show me?
Yeah.
Just point to it and I'll figure it out.
And
Here,
one
okay.
other question, and I just want to be clear on this. Was there a first two-page appeal, or was it one page?
There was not an appeal for the original trespass warning in April.
No, I'm
but
talking about this document.
I had that question too. It looks like that was the second page, but I only received that page. Sir, do you mind if,
I actually have, the original was attached to the packet that I
Yes.
submitted.
do you mind if I approach her to show you what we have from your appeal?
It was only one-sided.
Okay.
This is the original, and it was submitted with the packet. There's only one
So
side.
there's only one side.
So, okay, because it starts off with a lowercase letter, and I thought it was like,
So, in regards to submitting the paperwork, this information, his request for a hearing was received while I was out on vacation, and it was turned into our front desk. So somewhere from the transition to the front desk to getting to me, I can't confirm if there was
Well,
anything else attached.
Just ask
That
him.
was
Did you submit one page or was it double-sided?
Mr. Lewis, this is what I received as your appeal. And
I wrote that while I was at the police department.
Is there a missing page? That's what we're
Is this the
asking.
whole appeal?
This is the whole appeal.
That's the whole, okay.
Okay.
I just want to make sure before we get into it that
Yeah.
there might be something more. I don't want to,
That's it.
The city
Okay.
has nothing further if you wanted
Brief and
to.
to the point, I think.
If you want to present your case, you can.
My good stuff.
okay.
Yes, you're good.
Well, we got the preliminaries. I now know where we are, the layout of the properties. And now, Mr. Lewis, it's now time for, if you don't mind, to state your appeal.
The first arrest was because I arrived early at the library while Mary lingered drinking her coffee. I said, I'm going to show up early like some other people do early, and maybe Russell will be there at the bike rack and I can talk to him for a while. And then an emergency came up. I had to use the toilet, and I know that they open the bathrooms sometime in the morning after daylight, and I would be able to, it was an emergency, I had to use the toilet. So I went that way. There were 3 gentlemen handcuffed. I said, well, they must have done something illegal. The bathrooms are unlocked and they're open. I should be able to use it. So I used the toilet, I came out, and they handcuffed me and made me face the concrete brick wall there the whole time, handcuffed. So I go to jail for violation of city ordinance. It was an emergency, I had to use the toilet. I'm sorry. That was the beginning of it. And then a week later, they said, I'm trespassed from the park. I thought they were referring to the pavilion where the bathrooms are, where original arrest came. And so I met with Mary early in the morning, and the same arresting officer showed up and took me to jail again for violation of city ordinance. Just because I want to go to the library and read, which I do, and get movies to watch, and enjoy my time with Mary. And I don't see why that is so illegal, and I apologize for being ignorant of the city ordinance. You can't be there at a certain time.
Do you want me to play the axon?
Now,
Apologize.
the bathrooms are in the park.
Yeah, that's the park
Is that over
where the
on the other
pavilion
side
is by
of
the water.
City Island?
The grassy area where they were hanging out, where he was observed on the west side of the park. Clearly, he said that he normally gets there early and hangs out with his friends. Library's closed. All right.
What date? Sorry, I just want to make sure that
The same date that
June
the-
1st or
Sir.
April? I mean, June 24th or April? I just want to make sure that when we're,
That's the second trespass.
second trespass? Okay,
Yes,
we're
the
referring to
second-
the second
The
trespass.
second trespass.
Mr. Lewis, do you have anything further you want to say?
I don't have anything else to say. I just
Okay.
Let's go
spoke my
with
mind
April
about
1st
it.
and timeline.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, we'll establish April and then go to.
Okay.
Okay. And
All right.
So before Officer Gaspard
Officer?
goes, we're going to first, while not necessary because he was already found, he was already, I guess want to say, tried for this and took a plea for time served for the April. He's still going to go through and give us the details on that one. The April 1st was the original one, which put him on notice for the 1-year trespass. He did not appeal or ask any questions, to my knowledge, from this first trespass. So because it wasn't appealed and the time has lapsed, the law states that it does stand. So while we could go back and forth, this is just an established fact that this first ordinance, the first trespass does stand and was in place at the time of the June 4th incident. But regardless, Officer Gaspard is still going to establish the fact of that incident now.
All right, cool. All right, yeah, he was already trespassed April 24th from his charges for being in the park prior to being open. So this was the April 29th trespass for him. He did not appeal this one at all, so he's automatic. He's trespassed for a year. He failed to appeal it and follow the instructions on the form. So.
Did you tell him about the instructions?
Oh yeah, every time I make contact with a defendant, I give him a copy of it, so he physically received the copy of the April trespass form.
Yeah, and I have Axon showing him explaining that. I can play it if you wish, but
Yep. And then June 24th, he returned back prior to the library being open, hanging out on the west side of the park, the grassy area near the bike racks where there's a clear sign. I don't know if this sign is along the river as well, where like about, I don't know if it's 30 feet, but this same sign is surrounding the whole entire park. I know it's huge, but whichever route you take within the park, especially on the grassy area, those are the big blue signs that has the park hours, and it actually says City Island Park on it. All right, so this one clearly says City Island Park on this sign. So he has to pass it in order to hang out in the area that he was hanging out at. So I already knew that he was trespassing in the past. I immediately put him in handcuffs, and I already knew he was trespassed. And I issued him a 2-year trespass due to the fact that he was trespassed for a year the first time.
April 29th, that was the first time, though.
Yes, ma'am. The
Okay.
first time was
Let's
April.
sit here for a little bit. He mentioned that there was 2 other people at the park who were also given warnings. We're not talking about them because it's not relevant here, but if you show up to a park and it's a violation of the rules, just objectively, fact-wise, and you're in the process of giving that trespass warning to 2 other people, is there ever a situation where you wouldn't, for officer safety, would officer safety dictate that you also have to give that same exact treatment to any other person who's also at the park?
No.
Walk me through that.
With the other 2 subjects, like I said, we can give verbal warnings, but at this situation, I already knew he was trespassed.
April of 20...
April 29th when he was...
Oh, this wasn't the first trespass.
No, it's not the first trespass.
Could you walk us through when was the very first one?
April 29th, he was arrested because he was hanging out around the bathroom area where there's this same exact sign is by the bathroom area right in front of it where they were loitering. It was like 4 subjects. Everyone was taken into custody, not just him.
Okay.
All right.
And was this before 8 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any of that paperwork, so.
Yeah, I don't.
I have the...
And
But I guess my question is, when was the very first time he was given a trespass notice on this property?
That one.
April 29th.
Yeah.
So that was the first time. Because that's what I was.
Yes, that was the first time.
That was the first time. I apologize. We're just correcting.
That was the first.
We're correcting the record right now that
Yes.
April 29th was the first time he
That
was
was
given
the
the
first
trespass.
time he received it, yeah.
And it was not an arrest. It was. Well, yes, it was. Okay.
It was an arrest, yeah.
He has it. I gave it. That's what he has in front of him right now.
well, I have a question is, what time did this occur? Because I've been provided, Mr. Lewis, you have a copy of this, the sign, and it says the hours always start at 8. Was this before 8 o'clock in the morning? I think the library opens at 9.
Something like...
So I have, I guess, do I have a picture? Yeah, I have CAD. Let me show you the CAD. So the CAD states 7:09 for the April. Right now, we're only on April. In the April 29th incident, the situation began at 7:09. And let me see if I have a copy of the CAD. But on the incident report that you have in front of you, it should also state the time. Let me see where the time is on the report. Right here, if you go to page 3 at the very top right-hand corner, it says 7:11.
Yeah, I found it. That's the
Yeah,
right-
but we need it copies for, the arrest report's enough.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's page 3 at the top right is the time that the first,
On what date?
this was April 29th. I believe that it says that the arrest was at 8:16, but that's when it kind of closed out. It began at 7:11. While you look at that, do you mind, would you allow me a brief recess with my witness?
Mr. Lewis, do you have any objection to taking a brief, 10 minutes or 5
No,
minutes?
no, look, 1 minute, 1 minute. I just gotta
5-minute
have 1
recess?
minute, yeah.
Mr. Lewis, do you have any objection to them having a 5-minute
Not at
discussion?
all.
Okay.
Thank you. Then we'll take a 5-minute recess, and we'll reconvene in 5 minutes, which would be 10 of 12. It is 11:58, and I reconvene this hearing on Mr. Lewis's appeal of his trespass warning. And again, I'm going to go back, sir, to your request. Okay, an appeal says you dispute the fact that you have been given a trespass warning. This is an appeal of the trespass warning. And the only reason I find here is that you shouldn't be stopped from enjoying the library. But as was discussed early on, you're not being prevented from getting to the library. You can walk on the sidewalks, the road, and you get to the library. So I don't have I'm not sure what's being appealed.
Taught me the second time I was at a bike rack with her. He says the riverfront esplanade, right there where the blue gate is, that goes towards the footbridge, you're allowed to be in there, but you can't come past it to come this way, to walk the sidewalk to enter the library, supposedly, according to the arresting officer, the one who arrested me the second time. After the first time, when I had an emergency to go to the bathroom, that's where it all began.
Okay, but the basis, you were provided with these after the April 29th incident, where there was a group of, let's see, April 29th, where there are a group of people who are all brought in, and you, as I see, took a NOLO plea and were released. So you're not contesting that. I'm not sure what it is you're contesting.
Your Honor, if I may, so maybe to provide more context here for the city's position, you stated under oath, quote, that this all started with that April 29th arrest. Is that what you're contending?
April 29th.
The first arrest, that's when this all started? I guess,
When I was leaving
let me rephrase.
the bathroom, and there was 3 other gentlemen
Yeah.
handcuffed, right? Is that the one you're speaking
Yeah, well,
of?
Yes.
the April, so let me rephrase. Is the April 29th that one where when you were by the bathrooms, is that the first time that you had any incidences at this park?
That may be the one where I went to use,
No, is that the first incident you had at this park? It's a yes or no.
I can't say for sure, but there was an incident where I went to use the drinking fountain there. And I was standing there in the breezeway enjoying the cool breeze, and a policeman came up and handcuffed me and arrested me for loitering. He showed me on the other side of the building a sign that says no loitering.
Okay, do you know when
He
that
said-
was about?
This may have been that incident in April, but this stuff here happened just very recently about this
Okay,
bathroom thing and the
If-
library bike rack. And he said ignorance of the law is no excuse. He showed me on the other side of the building a no loitering sign.
so the
I paid
office,
$100 fine. I got out of jail the next day, and the sign was not there anymore. I paid $100 fine because of it. I didn't know it was there, and I went to get a drink of water
okay, that was
only.
that was when you were arrested for the loitering, all of
That
this.
was the loitering one.
So for providing
These are
context.
different. This is
Different.
a different incident here.
Yeah, so on record, that incident with the arrest for the loitering was on September 1st of 2022. And the officer,
might have been
you
then.
testified that officer at that time showed you the sign. So you were aware of the sign
After he handcuffed
on
me.
as of September 1st, 2022, you were aware of the sign that has been in place since then up until now and is still in place. So on the 1st, on April 29th, you have already seen the sign and were aware of it's your testimony that you saw the sign and were aware. So on April 29th, logic would dictate that you've already seen the sign, correct?
He showed me the sign.
He showed you the
after
sign.
He handcuffed me.
In 2022.
Whenever that was, a long time ago.
Yeah, that arrest was in 2022.
Yeah, and I paid $100
So-
fine.
On that sign, there's a picture, I know it's kind of grainy, but it in person clearly states two things, right? It states that it is unlawful for any person to enter or remain within or refuse to leave the park when the park is closed. And then at the bottom, a little further down and under the rules, it also states that there's no loitering in violation of, I think that says section 85.027 of Florida statutes in adjacent to the public restrooms. So when the officer showed you this sign, the very first one is about it's unlawful to stay there when the hours. So it would have been clear when he showed you that sign in 2022. So with that testimony, I'm going to ask Officer Gaspard here. So when you saw him there, did you run a background check? Did you ask for ID and before making the arrest?
Yeah, normally we do priors. Yeah,
Okay.
I already know him through past contacts that he has numerous arrests for numerous things.
Okay.
Including, like you said, the April 2022 at the same location.
The September 1st,
Just so it's
2022.
clear, we're not here on other things.
No.
Let's just
But
stick with the particular incidents that are relevant to.
But this prior history was relevant to establish the April arrest, and we have to establish the April arrest because that's what put the no trespass for a year, which is what he violated in June. So I'm just asking for some leniency, Your Honor, so that Officer Gaspard can explain why he made the arrest instead of giving him a verbal warning in April to give him the no trespass warning.
Yeah.
If you will allow. So
Fine.
when the first trespass warning was given in April, why, can you give me some more of your thought process about why you issued that trespass warning and made the arrest?
Due to the fact, yeah, he was already arrested at the same location, like you said, a couple years ago, and numerous other arrests throughout for numerous city ordinance violation and trespassing. But yeah, he has a pretty lengthy history.
Did the fact that he was loitering around the bathroom give any creed to that? Why is that an issue? Why would that concern you?
Yeah, there's crimes that occurred at City Island. Like I said, there's stabbings, assaults that happen in that park. The same issue, same with the area of the park. Our job is to, enforce it. That's why they have the rules. He was there. He had prior history for city ordinance violation. So, like I said, we went ahead and issued him the trespass form based off of the rule violation and numerous other contacts. So there was no verbal warning on that one.
Okay, but when you did make the arrest and give him the trespass warning, you gave him this paper, which I
Yep.
see here he signed and he was aware, and he didn't contest the April one.
No, he did not contest the April trespass warning.
And then in June, when the one that we're here to appeal, the June 24th one, he was arrested because he violated this original trespass.
Yes, he violated the original trespass form that was given to him.
And he wasn't on the public access road that we established before this hearing that were open to him to get to the library?
No, ma'am, he was hanging out on the west side prior. The library wasn't even open.
Did he tell you, why are you arresting me? I'm going to the library. Did he give you any explanation as to why he was there?
Nope.
Either time, in April or in June?
No valid reason, no.
Okay. That's all we have for right now, Your Honor.
Okay, well, we're talking about a lot of things. I'm focused on his appeal. And the appeal says, we're not here to talk about the April 29th incident, other than the fact that the warning was issued and it wasn't timely appealed.
That's correct.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So that order is in effect. And essentially, and this is a question, and I don't offhand, I'm throwing it. He's saying that he is prevented from enjoying the library. That is the basis of the appeal, and as we discussed earlier, you can certainly enjoy the library. There are ways to access the library.
Yep.
They're readily available.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what the appeal is.
Me neither.
Sir?
To be able to enter and use the library facilities.
The library facilities.
Yeah, to enjoy the library
The city,
itself.
the
But
city.
you can
To
come,
read.
you
Things
can,
I like to read.
you can come down, what is the name of that little road that goes through there? Is it Jackie Robinson Drive?
Jackie Robinson Parkway.
Jackie Robinson Parkway, and there's a sidewalk. And then there's a sidewalk that runs right up along that little canal that takes you to the library.
Right.
To assist you, if you would like, I can get a picture printed of that map, and Officer Conley Sergeant Conley or Officer Gaspard can draw you a map and explain to you how you can get to the library. But you definitely have the right to be there at the library, and we can show you how you could do that without violating this trespass warning. We're willing to assist you in that if that's what you wish.
So the footbridge, there's a sidewalk that goes, it's on the west side of the library, and it goes directly to the front door of the library. And I would be able to use that sidewalk to enter the library, correct?
Sergeant Connolly can walk you through that. I'm not familiar with the layout of the, but give me a second. I'm going to have her email it
The arresting officer told me I
to.
couldn't be on this side of the blue fence from the esplanade.
Okay, if it's my understanding, you can be on that Amy
Hampton.
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie
Parkway.
Robinson Parkway, and on the sidewalks along that goes all the way from Silver Beach, all the way over to Beach Street. And there's a sidewalk that runs along the canal north from the sidewalk that's on Jackie Robinson, and it goes, I guess, the front door of the
It
library.
would go northbound, yes, sir, literally to the front door of the.
So the request here is you can enjoy the library. This doesn't prevent you from not enjoying the library.
So I would like to have in writing that I have permission to have the library privileges.
We will get you a map. My paralegal's bringing that to us now.
I think what he wants to be sure of is that some other officer who may not be aware of what took place here today doesn't arrest him or otherwise, if he is on where he can be.
So I guess the solution.
It's outside the scope of the of this document.
So the two ideas that I would have were either in your order, when you deny the appeal, you can make a note that says that this doesn't prohibit him from going to the library through access points that we have already discussed with him, or maybe the police department could give a clarification.
I'm willing to give him my business card to go with the order, so if anyone has any questions, they can reach me. I'm here most
Yeah,
of the time.
I think the order would probably be the best.
Okay.
But the only caveat that I would caution you, Mr. Lewis, is that the sidewalk is going to be available to use when the park is, when it's open. You can't go and hang out there because it is
Not
posted trespassing.
before 8 o'clock now. I finally found out that you can't be there till after 8 o'clock, but I had an emergency to use the toilet and they were open and I had to go.
Yeah,
That's-
I hear what you're saying. I'm just trying to make sure that there's a clarification going forward, because the library doesn't open till 9.
I know that.
Okay.
And which has
will
no
not
trespass
show up till
signs,
after
so
9.
you can still be arrested for trespassing, because you can't be in a library before it opens. You can't be at City Island, so best bet is wait for it to open and not hanging around with friends,
That's what
because
I'm going to care.
Well, actually, I think he can be on City Island. He could certainly be on sidewalks. If that's not within the scope of the previous order,
Yeah.
because that's not part of the pavilion. I believe the limitations, you can't be in the pavilion park. And if that's not in Pavilion Park, then he certainly has a right to be there.
Well, there's other ordinances with the sidewalk too. Like you can't obstruct sidewalk or anything like that. So.
Well, that's different.
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's
So-
different. He could be at the courthouse. That's
Yeah, exactly. Courthouse is way.
Courthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you
east
said
of.
Jackie Robinson is not
Yeah.
part of Pavilion
Nope.
Park. He
Yeah,
could-
to say that
yeah.
we right now aren't comfortable giving a blanket authorization to be on the sidewalk because, like he said, there's other things that are applicable. What we can say is we can stipulate to in the order you putting something that states that this doesn't limit him from access to the county library and the sidewalk that has been designated to him. Not designated to him, but that leads to the library that she's gonna do on a map. She could put the map behind the ordinance, maybe behind the order, maybe we can put a picture of the map in a highlighted section that we have explained to him that he can use. I can stipulate to that, but in terms of the sidewalk, he can use what is highlighted, but loitering and obstructing is different.
That's what I was thinking.
So if maybe you can send that to Amy, she can print it and we can attach it to the order.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes, as
does that resolve your problem?
long as I can get into the library,
Okay,
I'm fine.
okay,
And only, I'll stay completely on the sidewalk to go straight into the library only.
okay.
I won't be on any other part of the City Island Park or pavilions or anything over there.
Okay,
Ever.
so this really wasn't an appeal of the, what do you call these things? An appeal of the trespass issue. It's a clarification of what is included within it. I'm defining the scope of the trespass.
The violation of the city ordinance,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
and that should, I think, resolve your problem.
I probably wouldn't have, I would have, so where does the park start?
Technically here.
Then I would remove this because he can park wherever, but. Well, I meant like, that's not in that, I don't want to direct. to a certain
Something in
location.
writing saying that I'm allowed to use the library.
Correct.
That's all I need.
Or you can leave it, that works too.
Already.
But yeah, whatever, either.
That would be the main.
We all, don't hate me, but I think it might be easier to do a property appraiser layout of the park and then add the red line to that, so it shows the whole park.
Well, the only reason why I'm doing it this is because
More
if you do it-
clear.
Yeah, because Google Maps has the clear satellite
Let's do
image.
both.
Okay, I can do both.
Yeah. So for clarity, we're gonna give you a map of the property appraiser's layout of the whole park. It's gonna show you where the sidewalk is to the library, and then we're also gonna give you a Google Maps, like a more what you'll actually see image, so that you'll have the clarity that you're asking for. Apologies, I'm just texting my paralegal to bring me the map.
Excuse me, but I hope that will include my access to the bike rack to lock my bicycle up while I'm at the library.
1 second.
Where are the
Sidewalk,
bike racks
bike
located with respect to the
It's
library?
On the west side, adjacent from the corner of the library where the water is.
It's directly to the left of
There's
the,
Metal fence.
To the left side, to the west side of the
to west
library?
side of the
yeah, right,
library,
right along by the
towards
sidewalk.
water.
That sounds like it would be within that area that the property appraiser's map shows is,
Part of the park.
but I don't know, I've never.
It's somewhat close to the corner.
The issue with the bike racks, sir, is that they are not fully affixed. Most of the time they try to, but unfortunately they get unintentionally relocated.
Okay.
So
But
it's kind of.
I believe the bike rack is for City Island because that's part of the park rules. Park rules is utilizing the bike racks. So I believe the bike rack should be
Are there other bike racks
for the
like
library.
in like Beach Street or other areas that are not part of the park? Do you know? I know that's kind of a offhanded question.
I believe there's one at the Esplanade.
There's the other
Okay,
Esplanade Park.
so
yeah.
then you could probably put your bike
Bike
there.
rack there.
Yeah. And Beach Street business, I think.
Yeah,
believe
we're not trying to make it difficult on you, sir. It's
That's
just that we have
okay.
to give the same treatment to
can,
other
uh,
people. But we're trying to work with you on this. Let her finish up the map, and then we'll give that to you. Thank you for bearing with us here. And Sergeant Conley, thank you for putting together this on the fly.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm actually including two more for him too.
Okay.
So there'll be that's the property appraiser.
Yes.
And then I'll do the same little red line
Oh, that's helpful.
to make it relate.
And while I can't give you legal advice, I would suggest, as a courteous advice, to maybe take a picture of the order in case you don't have it on you. If an officer gives you a hard time, you could take a picture of the order, a picture of the map that's attached to the order, and a picture of Sergeant Connolly's card. Maybe put that in your favorites, in your pictures, so you have it.
Yeah, I'd like to have a copy of that and keep it with me at all times when I do go to the library, just in case. Yeah. Be rearrested for the same old stupid nothing.
All right, it's going to be in her email in just a second. All three pictures are in her email.
Perfect. Okay. So that's all the city has at this time. As in conclusion, we're requesting that the appeal of the trespass warning be denied, but stipulate to some kind of phrase along the lines of this trespass warning doesn't limit his ability to access the county library through the public access points that have been designated on the map.
I am taking a shot here of, okay. This is what I see coming out of this is the appeal is denied as to the merits of the trespass warning issued on 6/24/25, but its scope is clarified as follows. The trespass warning does allow for access to the Volusia County Library via Jackie Robinson Parkway and its adjoining sidewalks and the sidewalk to the west of the library.
Maybe add, as shown on the attached map.
And if you can draw up a map, that would be fine.
She did the map, and my paralegal Amy is printing it and bringing it to us.
Okay,
Well, she's gonna have to adjust the order, so I'm gonna go take her order to her to include what he.
Oh, to Amy? Oh, okay.
okay.
Can I have the note that you just made?
You got it.
Let me just write, I abbreviated because I was trying to write fast. Issued on 6/20, but its scope is clarified. Oh, I had that there. Scope. The trespass warning does allow for access to the Volusia, you can probably figure that out, Jackie Robinson, sorry, and its adjoining sidewalks and the sidewalk to the west of the library is shown on the attached map.
5 seconds. No, maybe.
Your Honor, if we have nothing further, I ask the court to relieve Officer Gaspard so that he can return back to duty.
Mr. Lewis, do you have anything further?
No, sir, I don't.
Then, you heard the order, which
You're
I
good,
sort of read out
wait.
quickly. I deny your merits that there's no appeal essentially of the trespass warning, but there's a clarification of the scope of of it to allow you access to the library along
That's
the routes that
important
we
thing to me.
discussed.
Thank you so much for enabling me to continue with my privilege of the library.
Okay, well, I think that we've worked it out, and so it's good.
Okay.
Okay?
Is he relieved?
Since Mr. Lewis has nothing more, and I've put together an order which appears to be acceptable, I don't see any reason for, is it Officer Gaspar?
Officer?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Be
you, and
here
thank
any
you for
further.
your testimony and being here today.
Thank you for your
Stay safe out there.
assistance.
We should have a copy of that order for you shortly.
Are we closing the meeting?
Do you want to close it before we give him the order, or do you want
I
to wait?
think we should leave it open.
Yeah,
if
I'm
it-
good with
If
that.
it's going to take a couple minutes.
Let me give you the pen back before I don't want to steal it.
Okay, I have your book, but it sort of fell apart.
It does that.
The binder rings
It does that.
separated.
That's not on you. There's only one person who knows how to put it back together, so I'll take this to her.
It looks like it needs some glue.
Oh, yeah, did you tell him I was in this doing? Good. I know he called me to go back, but talked to this when we called. Thank you.
Okay, it is 12:30 and I have received a copy, or actually the original of the proposed order, and that order is acceptable to everyone, and I'm going to sign and date it. And just so it is along the lines of what had been previously stated, it's an order on petitioner's appeal of trespass warning pursuant to Chapter 8643. This matter came before the special magistrate for the city of Daytona Beach at a public hearing on July 22, 2025, regarding the petitioner's request for appeal of trespass warning issued pursuant to City Ordinance 8643, and the special magistrate, having heard testimony of the parties and being otherwise fully advised in the premises, it is hereby ordered and adjudged. The petitioner's appeal of trespass warning issued to him on June 24, 2025, pursuant to City Ordinance 8643, is denied as to the merits of the trespass warning issued on June 24, 2025, but its scope is clarified as follows. The trespass warning does allow for access to the Volusia County Library via Jackie Robinson Parkway and its adjoining sidewalks and the sidewalk to the west of the library as shown on the attached map. The trespass warning issued on June 24, 25 shall remain in full force and effect on an order this 22nd day of July 2025, and I signed it. And I'm just going to make that a shown, issued. Is denied. Okay.
You could just sign the additional 2 copies, one for the city and one for.
This is 22.
Possibly.
But that doesn't need to be in the record.
Couple little.
Actually, does the order say that the June 24th trespass warning stands as well? Okay.
Issue, the trespass. Why don't you take a look
Yeah,
at
let me
it?
just take a look. Sorry.
Make sure you're happy with it. I think it does.
Yes.
I tried to include everything.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Okay, that's your copy.
My copy? Okay.
And then,
Is it my copy or your copy?
no, I have a copy where she's getting the original. And this is, oh, Lena needs to sign this. Yes.
Did you get a copy from?
Yes, here's the original. Melissa, you sign Melissa's? Yep.
Okay.
Here's the original you have to sign, and then we have a copy for Mr. Lewis. That's your original.
Then is there any further business?
Nope.
Then being 12:35, I hereby call this meeting to be adjourned.